Welcome back. In this video, I want to chat with you about solo-ed directories. When it comes to email traffic, you will hear the word solo-eds a lot. And also, the word solo-eds is kind of synonymous now to my name. So if you actually Google my name, Igor Kafetz, you will come across things related to solo-eds because we are on the biggest, largest, most I guess, award-winning solo-ed agency on the planet today, especially in the internet marketing niche. Now, so when you look for solo ads, you will always come across solo ad directories. It's inevitable. And I want to shoot this video to give you my opinion on all kinds of solo directories and explain to you and share with you how you can go about using these directories, which directories you shouldn't be using, and if you end up using these directories, how to go about doing it without getting burnt. Because with solo ads, with email traffic, you're always working with one man or one woman shows, which means you're working with just regular people, and there's no regulations. It's kind of like the wild, wild west. So while on one hand, it's really good, it's really great for you because there's no one who can, take things away from you. It's unlike Facebook, who just can decide to raise prices or to ban you, or Google, or same thing. When it comes to solo ads, there's no a set in stone rule, which means you can twist the industry any way you want and you can get really high quality traffic on the cheap and vice versa. So the downside, of course, is that because there's no regulation, you can easily get scammed. You can buy really bad traffic and not have anyone to complain about. You can, pay for fake traffic, for example. You can, think you may be getting real clicks, but in reality, you wouldn't be. So allow me then to go ahead and share with you exactly how to go about buying traffic if you're looking specifically for solo ads and solo directories. So if you get on Google, which is the way most people do it, you just Google solo ad directory, you will get a bunch of search engine results. But my advice to you is to not take things at face value. In fact, I would encourage you to be super, super skeptical rather than being open to it. In other words, triple check and quadruple check everything and don't take anyone's claims for, at face value. That's my advice to you. So I'll give an example. So for example, here's a directory, solo directory that gets you sales or your money back. Okay, now this solo directory is actually the last directory that I would recommend working with because their so-called guarantee is just bullshit, and I know the owner and he's probably going to be upset with me for saying that, and that's all right, but this directory is truly bullshit. First off, you have to recognize that every single person in this directory is actually paying money to be advertised to the owner of this directory. So they're not ranked based on how good they are. They're ranked based on how much money they pay for the ad. So if this guy is basically on top of the list here, then most likely he's the one paying the most for the ad. So pretty much everybody on this directory is paying to play, so to speak. Okay, and I assure you, nothing has been done. Nothing has been done by this directory or any other directory for that matter. I mean, no matter who claims that they've done this, nobody actually went out and bought solids from each and every single person and ranked people based on that. Not to mention that even if I personally go out and rank solid providers based on the results I've got, it actually means absolutely nothing to you because you may have a different offer and you may convert differently with different lists. So going off of the ratings in directories like this one or directories like this one, Udemy, is absolutely futile. It's absolutely just a big waste of time. So now here's why I believe this directory in particular is actually not a directory you should work with, is besides the fact that every single vendor on this platform is actually paying to play, so it's kind of like yellow pages for solo directories, for solo vendors. The other thing is they have a guarantee that they say either we deliver sales for you, right, or you don't pay or something like that. So here's the thing. Let us go ahead and check what the guarantee is. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna ask them point blank. All right, cool. So we'll see if they respond, but let me see if I can find the actual guarantee. SoloAds X guarantee. No, it's not visible, but I really wanted for you to see it firsthand. Basically, the guarantee that they use is either you make one sale or three sales after buying 10,000 clicks, or we will refund your money. Now, here's the thing about it though. If I send you 10,000 clicks, or if you buy 10,000 clicks from me as a solar provider, I'll be happy to have my whole family and all of my relatives, even the ones who are no longer with me, to just, I'll go and I'll get some fake credit cards. I'll do whatever. I'll get a few sales just to make just to make it seem like I've met the guarantee. So, the guarantee that they provide about sales and all that stuff is just bogus. So whatever, if you end up working with these providers, and that's cool if you do. I'm not saying the providers don't have good traffic. I'm just saying that you shouldn't trust, the rating as you see it simply because they're paying to be listed here. You just want to test things out. Like, don't run more than 200 clicks at a time, and really be skeptical about pretty much everything that these guys are saying, no matter who's listed on here. Okay, so that's one. Now, two, this directory right here. It's called Udemy. Now, you have to remember this. Same thing applies here. Okay, same thing applies where people are actually paying to be promoted, right? So as you can see right here, there's a badge. So promoted. So people are paying to be advertised on top of the search listings. And there's no real rating that somehow guarantees that you'll be hitting a good list. What ends up happening here is that even if the client gets a bad result, the vendor goes ahead and he sort of like comps the client in a way where it's like either they send them free clicks, or maybe they just refund their investment, whatever the case, just so the client posts a really good rating for the seller so they keep selling. And since 80% or 90% of people can't really determine the results of their SoloAd, they are not even tracking, they get away with it most of the time. So basically, when you're using this directory like Udemy, or this directory like soloadsx.com, you need to understand that there is absolutely no way for you to determine who's good and who's not, and it's up to you to quite literally sift through tons and tons of dirt before you can find some gold nuggets. And from experience, I can tell you that most of these sellers do not have good lists, simply because all they do is they turn their list into a SoloAd business. In other words, what they're doing is they're trying to rely on SoloAds as an income stream, and they're just sending out other people's offers to the list all day long, oftentimes without replenishing the list, and oftentimes without really nurturing the list in any way, shape, or form. And so the results, you'll be able to see these results just based on running the promotions. And again, let me show you an example, okay? Let me show you an example of what that may look like. So what I've done is I logged in to one of my clients' ClickMagick account. This client happens to also be my close friend. So I've got their login because sometimes I help them with their ads and their traffic generation. So this client promotes a program called Funnel X ROI, and this is a program that teaches people how to make money online. So what you can see is he ran one ad with me to several different links, to 3 links. So Igor ROI V1, Igor ROI V3, and V5. And when he ran the traffic, my traffic generated 40% opt-in rate, 40% opt-in rate, and 33% opt-in rate, compared to him running traffic with another provider and him getting 16% opt-in rate. So with my traffic, he was actually getting double the results, double the subscribers on his list, and therefore making more sales, okay, as a result. And this is very important because with SoloAds, a lot of times you get exactly what you pay for. So when you go on udemy.com, or when you go on soloadsx.com, see they're charging you 35 cents per click, 40 cents per click, 30 cents per click, 45. Sometimes they'll charge you 60 cents or 35 cents. But the truth is, if they're charging that much, if they're only charging you 30 cents per click, chances are their traffic is crap, because they know they cannot pull more than that, and probably pulling way less than that. if they're promoting affiliate offers or if they're promoting products. Okay, same thing here, 45 cents, 39 cents, 55 cents, 41, 50 cents. And again, most of these people, they can't make a sale even if their life depended on it. So when you run traffic, it doesn't mean you won't make any sales. It just means that first off, you should always bargain and you should always try to get the price down. And you should also expect the kind of results that you're paying for, because usually that's exactly what happens, because these people, they know that they cannot pull more from their list than that. They simply can't. Their list ain't good enough for that, or they suck at marketing. Whatever the case may be, that's the experience that I and my friends have always had on these directories. So I'm just kind of letting you know about that so you know what to expect. Now, then you will also, when you Google solo ads, you will find weird links like, say, like this. Let's see. For example, this is an ad that someone's running. SoloAdsKing.com. Targeted solo ads that convert like crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so as you can see from this website, the website itself is very ugly, and somebody selling clicks at roughly 60, or maybe $65, 65 cents per click. And they also advertise a tracking software on their website. They try to get you into a pay-per-lead program, and all they're doing is just hyping things up, backing it up with 0 testimonials, and there's also no name. So contact us at sales@soloadsking, follow me, blah, blah, blah. So like, it's a faceless, nameless entity. No, like anyone can be behind this website. And more often than not, what happens here is it's people who build these fronts for solo ads because they know that people like you and me are searching for solo ads traffic. So you have to be really, really careful not to do business with people you can't really do your research about. You can't really find out whether or not anyone worked with them before, okay? It's really important. Now, you also have to be careful about not falling for outdated information, and you always want to be super up to date when it comes to conversions with solo ads. For example, SoloDirectory.com used to be kept up to date. However, it is not anymore. It's by Reed Florin, and these reviews of solo providers are really, really old. Okay, so for example, they're still linking to my old website, and they're linking to a solo ad review that was posted in 2011, October 17, 2011. So it's now 7 years old. Okay, it's crazy. So based on that, make sure you don't follow outdated reviews either. Now, the other thing you should be really wary of is definitely not to fall for things like Fiverr. For example, if I googled solo ads and I fell on this. So Fiverr is a website where people will do pretty much anything for $5. And what they've done is they've built like a community of quote unquote solo ads. And they're saying, I'll write you a killer email. I'll send it out to 3,000 people, 5,000 people, and so on and so forth. I highly recommend to stay away from Fiverr solo ads. You will be shocked to discover how much fake traffic there's on Fiverr. It's basically people sending you some redirect domain traffic or some other fake crap. Do not buy solo ads on Fiverr. Nothing to do with real, genuine solo traffic has anything to do with Fiverr, okay? Now, you may also find websites like these. So this website, soloadvertising.com, they're trying to sell you safeless solo ads. I also recommend not to buy from these because first off, these are dead lists. And second, these websites were built back in the early 2000s and they haven't been updated. Okay, so it's really important for you not to spend your money on bad traffic. That's one of the things that I can tell you is that just by preventing you from spending money on fake solo ads, you will maximize your ROI, because I spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars testing things out. So it kind of gives you an overview of what to expect and what to look out for. So don't take things at face value. And always, when you chat with solo providers, be it on soloadsx.com or udemy.com, always ask them questions. Specifically, you want to ask them to prove to you that they deliver results with sales to other people. And so they always should have references, but not just any references, of real people that you can talk to, okay, to confirm that they've actually delivered results. You also want to ask them to supply with some proof of them actually delivering sales for themselves. In other words, I would like for whenever I talk to a solid provider, I always ask them to show me what was the last affiliate promo they've done or last promotion they've done of any kind, and what kind of results they've gotten, right? So if their list is not potent enough to deliver affiliate conversions for them, then you shouldn't be wasting your money advertising that list either, okay? So that's really important. You should always ask them what kind of offers work best with their list. So, for them to show you actual examples of offers and for you to see if your offer is any similar. And the more similar your offer, the better. Okay, so again, you want to do your due diligence like that in order to not get scammed. Now, where can you actually go to buy solo ads? Okay, where can what directories should you trust? Well, the one directory I recommend is actually the Warrior Forum. So if you go to the warriorforum.com, and the warriorforum.com, you go to the classifieds section. So forums, they may have changed things around since I've last been here. Internet marketing, war room, marketplace. Yeah. So in this marketplace, if you search for the word solo ads or solo ad, let's see what we find. Nothing. Okay. Let's just search for it forum wide. Okay, cool. So yeah, they are all in the Warrior Forum classifieds. And so if you go to the classifieds, you will find a bunch of solo ad providers willing to sell you traffic. Okay, so again, just run a search for the word solo ad at the top of the forum, and you will find a bunch of different threads where people are advertising for solo ads. For example, this is a thread by Denny White. He's a friend of mine, and Denny has really good traffic. Okay, so you can check him out. He's got a bunch of testimonials. And the best thing about the Warrior Forum is that I know for a fact I will never get scammed here, because the Warrior Forum is always being managed and moderated by admins. And so if they see that there's a thread of somebody who's getting consistent bad results and consistent bad feedback from their people, from their clients, you can bet that they will shut them down very, very quickly. So as you can see, Danny has like a ton of testimonials, including my own, and I highly recommend him. But besides Danny, of course, you've got a ton of people here that will happily sell you solo ads for pretty much any niche. Okay, so definitely check out the Warrior Forum if you're just getting started with solo ads. Okay, that's an agency I do recommend. Another agency I recommend is Harris's trafficforme.com. Okay, and I included the link below, which you can use to get a discounted rate, because you're friends with me, because you're my client. So if you go to that link, you will be able to get a discounted rate. So this directory, don't expect amazing results. Don't expect to get like crazy and ridiculous conversions, but this is where you'll get exactly what you pay for, and you can expect to get good, reliable traffic. As you can see, there's a lot of people who use them, like John Lavinia, Ewan Chia, Stephen Alsher, Jeremy Shoemaker. These are pretty famous people. So they're pretty cool, and they have this interesting system where you can just kind of self-serve. You log in and you just order traffic just like that. So let me log into my account, so I'll show you. Okay, so right here you can just come in and you can pick your traffic: biz op, internet marketing, health and diet, personal development. You can pick all of this stuff and simply go ahead and order. They're reliable, they got really good responsive support, and I really recommend to use them if you're looking for additional sources for solo ads traffic. Other than that, what I can recommend to you is definitely just test. Okay, and when you test, make sure to run a small ad just to test things out. Run it for the amount of money that, even if you lose it and get no results, for you to not sort of, not to commit suicide about. Like, so if your budget is $500 total for the month, run an ad for $100, run an ad for $70, $80. Do whatever you can, but run for a portion of your money to see if that solo provider is worth scaling with. Okay. And so that's what I would recommend as far as solid directories. Now, one more place where I would recommend you don't go is Facebook ad groups. Now, again, when you start searching for solo ads, you will inevitably end up in the solo ad groups. And so what happens in those groups is that it's mostly the exact same people that end up selling traffic to each other, in kind of this incestuous circle jerk of traffic where, again, most people sell rehashed, really bad traffic. So if you go to any of these groups like Solo Ads Buying and Selling Groups, the Solo Testimonial Group, whatever, you will pretty much find all the same people all selling to each other. And a lot of times, what I find from these groups is that a lot of times it's all about who's gonna lie the best, like who's like nobody's actually checking results here. So if this person posts, that he ordered from Sunit Angra and he ordered whatever and generated results whatever, then there's actually no way to back it up. There's no verification. And I personally know people who have paid off random strangers to come in and post here some fake results. And so once they do this, they're getting messages from people, to sell clicks. So don't trust things at face value when it comes to solo ads, because you will get burned more often than not. Instead, really interrogate the people you want to buy from when it comes to these directories. Now, it's different from the strategy that I showed you where you Google influencers that don't necessarily advertise that they want to sell solo ads and you approach them with a request. These people specifically build a business around selling solo ads because they recognize the demand in the marketplace. So you have to make that distinction. Okay, you have to understand that these people have absolutely, you have no control here, right? So as soon as you make that transaction, you better be certain that you're working with somebody who is actually legitimate, rather than be sorry about it. So again, this is my advice for you when it comes to solo directories, when it comes to Googling solo ad sources. Okay, this is my advice, and I give it to you with a heavy heart, because solo ads are an amazing traffic source, but it does require trial and error to actually get the right sources. Unfortunately, there's so much scamming going on that is just disgusting, and it only sort of has increased over the years as the solo ad industry grew, after more and more people realize they can make money selling solo ads, which we're going to be covering later in this course, as well as an income stream. So your job as a solo ad consumer, as somebody who buys solo ads, is to be very, very diligent and do your research about the people you work with. Make sure you really check things out, Google their name, find reviews about them on YouTube, do whatever you have to do, but don't work with people who you can't prove are legitimate. All right. So that pretty much covers my video on solo ad directories and the danger of solo ads and the place where you can go where you can get scammed. And remember, if you want to get a really good traffic from solo directories, then there's only two places that I highly recommend at this point: is the Warrior Forum, okay, warriorforum.com, and trafficforme.com. Of course, use my link at the bottom or below this video in order to get a discounted rate. But Warrior Forum, Traffic for Me, and there's one more source that I haven't used a lot. It's called Dedicated Emails. Now, I can't testify that they're like really good, but I keep hearing good things about them. So you may want to give them a shot as well. Also, there's one more source that I will share with you, and that is Charlie Page's Directory of E-Zines. Now, what this is, it's a membership site, Directory of E-Zines. It's a membership site created by Charlie Page, and Charlie is a really nice guy, and he had it for years, and he created a database of potential email list owners and email e-zine owners that you can use in order to run your traffic as well. Now, this membership costs, I believe, $197 or $297. Yeah, $197, costs $197. It comes with a money back guarantee. So I highly suggest you check it out as well, because it will save you a lot of time and a lot of money on research that you would otherwise have to go through. So again, these are just a couple of sources for you if you're looking for internet marketing solo ads. Now, you can and will find solo ads for the dating market, the crypto market, the self-help market. You just need to look for them, and you can either look for them directly by basically looking for personal development solo ads. Or again, you can just look up the influencers in the personal development space. You look up these authority sites, approach them and ask them what would they charge to drop an email promotion to their list. Trust me, most will always agree because it's an easy way for them to make money. And if they're not publicly advertising that they will do it for you, most of the time they will also undercharge, allowing you to advertise at a very low rate. So that pretty much covers the whole Solo Directories training, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.